Hi, my name is Allison Price, and I would like to welcome you to Math 039. This is section I1, and we're going to look at some of the features of my math lab and some of the tools that are going to help you be successful this semester. Right now, I am in the course home area. I just want to point out a couple things over here. The first thing is that we have some announcements at the top. You should be able to see the most recent announcement up here. If you want to see more announcements, you can click over on the left-hand side of the announcement bar or on the All Announcements button. I'll come back to that announcement after I look at the rest of the screen. The next part down here is a brief calendar view. Honestly, I don't find this view too useful because all of our assignments are going to be due on Tuesday, so that's the only day that we'll ever have a little icon with it. But you can click on that on each week and it'll give you a rundown of what's going to be due that week. What to work on next, I also feel not super useful. I'm going to show you a better way to get to a quick snapshot of what's due each week. But it only shows me 3 of the things that are due Tuesday, and there are several more. Right? It says 14 days right now because I'm a few days before the semester started. On yours it should say 7 or less. The view all assignments is one way that you're going to be able to see everything that is due. So that is one option. Other things I want to show you about this is the overall score right here. You can always get to a detailed view of your overall score over here in your grade book, but it'll give you a real quick snapshot so you can see what your current average is for the class updated by the second. So that's very nice to be able to have right there a progress. And then the submission progress might be interesting, but it just shows you, we got the targeted 80% line there. You might have yours on at 70, whatever your goal is, but it'll just show you dots for all your assignments. You can see if they're above bar or below bar. It just gives you a nice statistical view of your assignment history. Cool. All right, so I'm going to go through some of these other icons over here on the side. First, I'm going to hit the announcements button. So we've got one announcement so far. As the weeks go on, we will get at least one announcement per week. So those will be popping up. They also will get emailed to you in the future. Every time a new announcement comes up, this one happened before you were in the course, so it didn't get emailed to you. But every time a new announcement comes up, it will get automatically sent to the email you used to register for my math lab. If I scroll down in this announcement, it's your welcome. And if you haven't already seen it, it does give you the directions to watch this video. You may have found it directly from the homework tab. If not, that's great too. And then all of the things that you need to do this week. I have outlined the week 1 announcement a little bit differently than weeks 2, 3, and so on will be outlined. I tried to really break it down so you could see everything written out in words as well as just the assignment titled. So I'm hoping that that was very helpful this week. I'd like to have feedback on that. Make sure to read through all the things you need to do this week. And let's go on to some of the few other options we've got over here. In course information, you'll find your syllabus and the calendar. There's a separate video about the syllabus. I'm not going to click on that one right now, but I will go ahead and click on the calendar. So the calendar, I recommend printing or bookmarking or having handy anytime you want to get a picture of what needs to be done each week. So, for example, this week we have a lot of things to do, this first group of assignments. It does seem like a lot, but you'll find out that this first set's going to go the fastest out of any of these sets. That's why there are this many. The first couple weeks have a lot. They all do. There's not too many weeks that do have a short amount of assignments. So there's usually an assignment per day, so maybe about 7 assignments. And they vary in types. You can see I've got them color-coded up here. Discussion, video, homework, quiz, test, or the offline assignments. Those are the pen and paper that you need to be at the testing lab to do. So this week, you're watching right now one of the introduction videos. So great, you're on the start. After you finish those, you'll need to do the syllabus quiz and continue on through the first set of notes and assignments. You'll also notice that you have 2 posts for your discussions due this week, and then you'll have 2 due next week to finish out the first assignment. There are 4 due every 2 weeks. Then you'll see that on discussion 2 comes up, same deal. That's described a little bit more in detail in the discussion board and in the syllabus. Alright, so there's the calendar. I'm going to go back over to my math lab course. The other links in here are my YouTube channel, if you just want to click on it to find any resources. Most of the videos for the class are already posted inside the homework, so you get to those right through that. However, sometimes someone asks me a question and I will respond in a video because it's easier to explain something than to type a math question often. So there may be some Q&A that you might want to check out over there depending on what questions have already been asked. Okay. There are a couple other supplements that are practice problems for weighted averages, conversion facts, and geometry. So when we get to those lessons in the homework, it's just nice to have that in your back of your mind that those resources are over here in the announcements. These are supplements, which means that they weren't part of the original textbooks. We had to add on the notes for that. And then also in this information section, just to get it all out there right away, are some information about preparing for the midterm and final. Good to know that the reviews for the 2 midterms and the final are already in the course pack, and that's what you're going to get from the bookstore. No extra charge. You want to pick that up. That's where the review sheets are. They're in the back, so flip to the back and look at them whenever you'd like. Answers are included in those. And the bottom note is that there are no, you're not allowed to bring any notes to any of the exams, but this is a copy of what the notes that you will be presented with in the final exam look like. Okay, so you'll get the formulas that are on this. Nothing else is allowed to be taken in. Okay, so just some general information there. And if you ever want to go look back at it, I suggest that you do. This is another way to get into the announcements, where you can see all the announcements that have been posted. So far, it's just the one. And the next one is our discussion board. Okay, I'm in the instructor view, so you won't be able to see all of these posts. You probably just see a couple. So the first discussion board, I'm going to scroll down to the bottom, is where you're going to introduce yourself and motivate yourself to be successful in this course. And I just want to explain these dates up here. The dates right here, the September 4th through 15th, that is, let me flip back to the calendar, the first day and last day of our 2-week period, the 4th through the 15th. So each discussion lasts through 2 weeks. Let me flip back. And the first set of 2 posts are due on the Tuesday that follows the first week and the Tuesday that follows the second week. So everything's always due on a Tuesday. That's why those dates are a little bit weird. That week ends on the 15th, which would be a Saturday, but the Tuesday following is the 18th. That's the final deadline. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm trying to make everything due the week after it's assigned on a Tuesday. Okay, so that's why there's a discrepancy in those dates. And if you scroll down through the discussion, I've got that reminder up here about what number of posts need to be posted by which date. So keep that in mind as well. That's always going to be the case. It's always going to work that same way for all the topic discussions. Now, there are also going to be some optional posts, optional discussion boards, like questions about the course, questions about the unit, and some just for fun. You may not always have a question about the course to post, but when you do, if you do have one that you want to post, it would count as one of your posts. So you don't need to do additional responses if you've already posted something like that. So keep that in mind also. All right, I'm going to go into the homework. Now, there are links over here for homework and for quizzes and tests, but if you're in either one of them, homework or quizzes and tests, you can click on the homework or quizzes and tests button and do view all. So I have them both up there just for getting to them fast, but view all is my preference. I would like to view all of the assignments, so I always change that. And then I can see everything that's due. So you're already working on video 1 in the introduction. The syllabus quiz will be your next, and if you scroll through just to see how many things are due on the 11th, there we go. So you're going to want to do all of these this first week. So you've got a discussion post to do. These links right here in the homework area aren't actually the discussion posts, they're reminders. So when you click on it, it just says, hey, don't forget to do your discussion, and it gives you the rules of them. And then you actually have to go to the discussion board and post it. But I want to put the reminders right there so you didn't forget to do them. But for just doing your reminder, my score is already 100%. So I got some good grades right there. So just click on the reminder, click the link, and then go actually and do it. So you've completed both parts of it. That does count as one of your homework grades, just do that reminder. Although I did dock it so it's like 10% of what the regular homeworks are, just because it's just a one-click thing. Okay? All right. Videos, we saw what the first one looked like. There's a video broken down by parts of the section. So you can do 1A. I would recommend doing 1.1A video, then going back out of the videos, then going back over here, doing the homework for 1.1A, then back into the videos for 1.1B, and so on. Doing them right after each other so it's very fresh in your mind. Okay. Later on, when you get to the quizzes and tests, you'll see that our first quiz down here is going to be over everything that came before it. So quiz 1 is over sections 1.1, 1.2, and 1.3. Down here, quiz 2, that's over sections 1.4, 1.5, and 1.6. It's in the sections in between. Okay, so they're not exactly cumulative, although you know that math is going to wrap over and cover things that were covered in the previous section just by nature. All right, so we've got both of those. Gradebook, this is going to give you an in-depth picture of what your grade is. Now mine's 100%, and I did one thing. That was that discussion click I did. I want to point out that show calculation is a good way to find out how you're doing in different categories. So if your score isn't particularly high, you'll be able to find out exactly why it is, if it's because of quizzes or because of homework or what exactly it's causing your score to be low. So you want to keep that in mind also. And then, of course, you can see your scores for each individual assignment and review them. Okay. The last couple things I want to show you before I share some facts. The chapter contents, these have the actual sections of the book. If you're more of a reader than a listener, if you want to read through the textbook, you can access them here. You can also request a copy from the bookstore. I do believe they charge an additional fee. It can be accessed right there. And then in the student success area, there's the study plan, which is additional questions. I mentioned it during the syllabus video. There's some tools for success, which give you some calculator tips, some algebra review cards. There's also some study skills, whether it's time management, stress, anxiety. There's some study skills exercises that can help you get started this semester. Okay, and the last option is our course tools. The ones the little slash through mean they're instructor only, so you won't be seeing those. But I wanted to share email, just because if you do talk to somebody on the discussion board and want to connect with them without having to share personal information in a public way, you can use the email. So you can click on somebody, add them, and you can send them. I do think that I get copied automatically on the initial email, which is fine. It's just to make sure that there's no harassment on the board, but it wouldn't want anything like that, of course. So I will be copied on any email that is sent this way. However, you can contact it as another student, and you can work out contact information if anyone did to say they wanted to meet up and do a study group or something like that. So it's possible to email me this way. It's also possible to email your classmates this way. So I just want to make sure you're aware of that. Okay. All right, I'm going to go back to the main menu for a second, to the course home. Let me flip real quick to the student view, and I just want to share a couple of facts to end this. I have redesigned the course this semester to really try to scaffold the assignments so that you have homeworks, then quizzes, then tests that build up towards the unit exams. So you'll be taking granular homework assignments, then you'll have a little bit of condensed quiz, 2 of them, 3 of them before your exam, just trying to build up and build up and build up and prepare you for those assignments. So that's one of the things I've done to try to help engage students and have a more successful class this semester. The other thing that I want to share with you is some data about success rates. So for example, we have found that whether or not a student is able to complete all of their assignments in week 1 is a very, very strong indicator of whether or not they'll be successful. What we're looking at in particular here is that of the students who in the last couple semesters were late for any of their assignments in week 1, none of them were able to pass the course. And so I just want to let you know right away, if you find yourself being more time stressed than you expected, if you're not able to get your assignments done in week 1, it's going to be to your advantage to probably drop the class and take it at a later date. It doesn't get easier than the first week. The first week has a larger number of assignments, but they're going to be mostly review. And if you can't get them done, it's most likely that you won't be able to be successful. So we wanted to let you know that right off the bat. We wanted to give you the best chance of success we can have. And we know this course takes a lot of time, 16 hours a week, and that is 16 full hours a week. Of those students who are able to get through the first week on time, we are still having a half pass rate, and we are seeing that some of that falls off at the exam 1 time. So if you pass exam 1, good chance of passing the course. If you're struggling through that first exam, which is the linear topics, if you're struggling in the linear topics, chances are, once again, you're not going to be able to pull through an exam 2 when we get to the quadratic. So again, just some data for you. I wanted to share that mostly specifically about that week 1, because at week 1, after week 1, you're still in the drop add period where you can get money back if you are struggling and realize that you might need to take this at a different time. So Thank you for letting me share those thoughts, and I hope that we all have a great semester.